Senior Inspector 69 had catalogued over 10,000 civilizations during their 3-century career with the Galactic Classification Bureau. They prided themselves on their ability to predict a species' developmental trajectory with 99.99% accuracy. The process was simple: analyze their technological progress, assess their social structures, and calculate their probability of achieving faster-than-light travel within the next millennium. But Earth wasn't following any of the standard patterns. Zix-9's crystalline form shimmered with frustration as they reviewed the data for the 14th time. According to all previous assessments, Earth had been classified as a Type 2 developing world, notable primarily for their excessive production of entertainment media and their peculiar obsession with recording their pets' activities. The inspector's latest scans, however, told a very different story. Computer, verify quantum signature detection in Sector 7, Zix-9 commanded, their crystalline appendages clicking against the control panel of their cloaked observation vessel. Verification complete, the ship's eye responded. Detecting multiple quantum experiments in progress. Primary source: facility designated Dave's Garage. Zix-9's entire form flickered in disbelief. A residential facility. Display visual. The holoscreen materialized, showing a middle-aged human in what appeared to be a cluttered storage structure, surrounded by tools and half-finished projects. The human was casually manipulating quantum fields while drinking something called a beer and streaming his activities to other humans for entertainment. "This can't be right," Zix-9 muttered. Computer, access historical records. When did humans achieve quantum manipulation capability? First recorded quantum manipulation, 8 solar cycles ago. Origin: attempt to improve wireless gaming device performance. Note: discovery was accidental. Creators' stated goal was to fix lag in Rocket League. Zix-9's crystalline structure nearly destabilized from shock. Species were supposed to spend at least 50 years studying quantum theory before attempting manipulation. Humans had apparently stumbled into it while trying to play games more efficiently. But that was just the beginning. As Zix-9 dug deeper into recent human activities, the anomalies multiplied. In a facility called Betty's Bistro, a cook trying to create the perfect toast had accidentally developed a controlled microfusion reaction. A teenager attempting to charge their communication device faster had derived an entirely new branch of mathematics. A group of urban farmers had inadvertently created a primitive form of matter transmission while attempting to develop a better composting system. Computer, display innovation pattern analysis, Zix-9 commanded, their voice wavering. The resulting graph was unlike anything they had seen in 3 centuries of observation. Instead of the usual steady upward curve of technological progress, Earth's pattern looked like a child's scribble. Advances appeared randomly, often in completely unrelated fields, with no apparent theoretical foundation. Most disturbing of all was the humans' reaction to these breakthroughs. Rather than treating them with appropriate reverence and caution, they seemed to view them as mere stepping stones to solving even more mundane problems. Zix-9 began composing their emergency report to the Bureau. URGNT, classification review required. Subject: Sol System, Planet Earth. Current classification: Type 2 developing world. Recommended reclassification: unknown. New category needed. Findings indicate severe misclassification of human technological capabilities. Species does not follow any known development patterns. Primary concerns: achieving advanced scientific breakthroughs through apparently random experimentation. No evidence of understanding implications of their discoveries. Treating fundamental universal laws as suggestions. Solving complex problems through what they term hacks and workarounds. Displaying complete disregard for traditional scientific progression. Of particular concern is their method of innovation, which appears to be driven primarily by impatience with existing solutions, desire for convenience, entertainment purposes, what they call for fun. Traditional assessment metrics are inadequate for predicting human development. While other species climb the technological ladder one careful step at a time, humans appear to be bouncing erratically between rungs while simultaneously building entirely new ladders for purposes we cannot comprehend. Recommendation: immediate establishment of dedicated Earth observation team. Current classification protocols are insufficient for monitoring a species that achieves faster-than-light theory breakthroughs while attempting to optimize their pizza delivery systems. Personal note: in my 3 centuries of service, I have never encountered a species that treats the fundamental laws of the universe with such casual disregard. They are either the most brilliant or most dangerous species we have ever encountered. Possibly both. End report. As Zix-9 prepared to transmit their findings, their sensors detected a new quantum signature. Somewhere in a suburban area designated Mall, a human teenager had just achieved stable antimatter containment while trying to create a more energy-efficient phone charger. The inspector's crystalline form dimmed slightly, the equivalent of a resigned sigh. It was going to be a very long assignment. The Galactic Classification Bureau's emergency response chamber had never been this crowded. Representatives from 17 different departments huddled around the central holographic display, their various appendages and sensory organs all focused on the stream of data from Earth. Senior Inspector Zix-9's report had triggered the highest level of bureaucratic panic seen in the last millennium. "Play the Human Innovation Incident recording again," demanded Chief Administrator Venzero, their gelatinous form rippling with agitation. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a human facility labeled Carl's Coffee Shop. A barista, apparently frustrated with the time it took to heat milk for something called a pumpkin spice latte, had modified their equipment in a way that accidentally created a localized time distortion field. How? Venzero's voice resonated through their translation matrix. How did they achieve temporal manipulation while trying to make a beverage? "That's not even the most concerning incident," Zix-9 responded, bringing up another recording. "This happened yesterday at a facility called Bob's Auto Repair." The display showed a mechanic attempting to remove a stubborn bolt from an internal combustion engine. In his frustration, he had inadvertently developed a selective gravity nullification tool. He now marketed it as the anti-rust wrench and sold it for $29.99 in what humans called Earth dollars. They're commercializing it. The Department of Technological Integration's representatives' color patterns shifted to indicate extreme distress, without any safety protocols. They included a warning label. Zix-9 noted. It reads, "Don't use near pets or small children. May cause floating." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alarmed communications across various electromagnetic and psychic frequencies. Chief Administrator Venzero had to release calming pheromones 3 times before order was restored. "Show them the education incident," Zix-9 continued, their crystalline form dimming at the memory. The holographic display shifted to a human educational facility. A teacher, attempting to make mathematics more engaging for her students, had created what she called a fun worksheet. In doing so, she had accidentally solved 3 of the galaxy's most challenging mathematical theorems. Her only comment on the breakthrough was that it really helped the kids understand fractions better. "This defies all known patterns of species development," declared the head of evolutionary studies, their tentacles writhing in academic distress. "They're achieving in months what should take centuries, and they're doing it wrong." "Wrong but effective," corrected Zix-9. "Their solutions work, even though they shouldn't. They're not following any established scientific principles. They just try things until something works." The display shifted again, showing multiple human innovation events simultaneously. A child creating a crude but functional quantum computer while attempting to build a better Nintendo. A group of college students accidentally developing consciousness transfer technology while trying to find a way to attend lectures without leaving their beds. A chef who had mastered matter-energy conversion in an attempt to reduce food waste. Most concerning of all, Zix-9 continued, is their response to failure. When their attempts don't work, they just Try again, differently, without any regard for what should be possible. Have they shown any sign of recognizing the magnitude of their discoveries? Asked the ethics department representative. They file patents. Zix9 responded. Then they immediately begin working on what they call version 2.0, because the first version isn't user-friendly enough. The chamber fell into stunned silence. In the history of galactic civilization, no species had ever treated fundamental universal laws as mere inconveniences to be worked around. We must revise our classification system, Chief Administrator Ven Zero finally declared. Create a new category, chaotic innovators, and prepare a first contact protocol. If humans are achieving these breakthroughs by accident, imagine what they might do if they actually tried. There's one more thing, Zix9 added, their crystalline form flickering with what might have been amusement. They document all their innovations on something called YouTube. They add entertainment value with what they call like and subscribe requests. They're turning universal breakthroughs into content. The chamber erupted again, this time in what could only be described as bureaucratic hysteria. As the various representatives argued about how to handle this unprecedented situation, Zix9's sensors detected another quantum anomaly from Earth. Someone had just achieved stable nuclear fusion in their basement while trying to create a more efficient way to heat their swimming pool. The galaxy, it seemed, would never be the same. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council had never hosted an emergency session over a pre-FTL civilization before. Yet here they were, thousands of representatives from across the galaxy, gathered to discuss one small planet that refused to follow the rules of proper technological development. High Counselor Zenith Prime, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate regulatory field, addressed the assembly. The human situation has become untenable. In the past solar cycle alone, they have violated 73 fundamental laws of physics, solved 12 unsolvable mathematical problems, and created 15 technologies that our scientists deem theoretically impossible. And they did it all while trying to enhance their entertainment systems and food preparation methods. Holoscreen displays around the chamber showed various human innovations. A teenager had created a primitive form of teleportation while trying to reach snacks in the kitchen without leaving their gaming chair. A grandmother had unknowingly developed a unified field theory while optimizing her knitting pattern. A food delivery service had stumbled upon instantaneous matter transmission in their quest for pizza that doesn't get cold. Most alarming, continued Zenith Prime, their energy form flickering with concern, is their complete lack of proper scientific methodology. They don't even bother to prove things are impossible before doing them. The Galactic Science Director, a hyper-intelligent crystal matrix named Lambda X, projected their thoughts into the chamber. We've analyzed their problem-solving approach. It appears to be identify inconvenience, attempt solution, ignore universal constants that say it won't work, succeed anyway. A murmur of distress rippled through the assembly. Several representatives had to be treated for logic shock. Display the garage incident, ordered Zenith Prime. The central hologram showed a human tinkering in what appeared to be a primitive workshop. The human, identified as Dave from Minnesota, was attempting to fix what he called his old junker of a vehicle. Frustrated by having to constantly retrieve dropped tools, he had casually invented localized gravity manipulation. He now sold the device online as the Magnetic Grabber Pro with free shipping for Prime members. They're not even properly amazed by their own achievements, noted the Director of Technological Integration, their tentacles writhing in academic distress. They just move on to the next problem. The displays showed more examples, a child's science fair project that accidentally proved parallel universes existed, a college student solving faster-than-light travel while trying to find a way to attend morning classes without leaving bed, a chef who had mastered molecular gastronomy to the point of breaking the laws of thermodynamics, all in pursuit of the perfect crispy fry. We must face an uncomfortable truth, Zenith Prime declared. Our traditional classification systems are useless here. Humans don't follow the established path of technological progress. They skip steps, combine unrelated fields, and achieve breakthroughs through what they call random ideas in the shower. The Council's prediction matrix, a quantum computer that had accurately forecasted the development of over 10,000 civilizations, displayed its analysis of humanity's probable technological trajectory. The result was a series of question marks and an error message reading insufficient chaos coefficient in mathematical models. There's worse news, added Landex. They're starting to get bored with their current entertainment systems. Our projections suggest they might actually start trying to advance their technology on purpose. The chamber fell silent. The idea of humans applying their chaotic innovation methods intentionally was terrifying enough, but humans doing it because they were bored. Several council members had to be escorted out for emergency meditation. We need new protocols, Zenith Prime announced. Our current first contact procedures assumed the species we're meeting has followed a logical progression of technological development. Humans appear to achieve advances by asking, "Wouldn't it be cool if," and then ignoring possibility itself. A junior observer rushed into the chamber, their aura pulsing with urgent information. They handed a report to Zenith Prime, whose energy form briefly destabilized upon reading it. It seems, Zenith Prime announced, that a human video game developer, frustrated with graphics card limitations, has just accidentally discovered how to manipulate the fundamental fabric of reality. They're calling it Ray Tracing 2.0 and planning to release it in their next software update. The chamber erupted in chaos as the galaxy's greatest minds struggled to process this latest development. Somewhere on Earth, a student trying to finish their homework at the last minute had just inadvertently discovered a way to bend time itself. The classification crisis had become a classification catastrophe. The Galactic Research Institute's central laboratory was in disarray. Hundreds of the galaxy's most brilliant minds had spent the past month attempting to replicate human innovation methods. The results had been less than successful. Dr. Axiom-7, the Institute's lead researcher, surveyed the chaos with all four of their optical clusters. Broken equipment littered the pristine lab spaces. Scorch marks decorated the quantum-reinforced walls. In one corner, a group of theoretical physicists sat in a circle, rocking back and forth while muttering "it doesn't make sense" in 17 different languages. Play Research Log Entry 2467, Dr. Axiom-7 commanded. The holographic display activated, showing their latest experiment. They had assembled a team of the galaxy's top scientists and given them the same goal as a human teenager who had achieved a breakthrough in quantum mechanics: improve gaming performance. The scientists had produced 300 pages of theoretical frameworks, 12 new mathematical models, and 0 actual progress. The human teen had, while shouting at something called a loading screen, accidentally invented quantum tunneling for data transmission. Display comparative analysis, Dr. Axiom-7 ordered. 2 timelines appeared. The first showed the standard galactic method for achieving faster-than-light communication. Centuries of theoretical work, careful experimentation, and rigorous peer review. The second showed the human method. Someone getting frustrated with buffering videos and messing around with stuff until it worked. How? Dr. Axiom-7's crystalline form vibrated with confusion. We've tried to replicate their chaotic approach. We assembled random teams, encouraged illogical thinking, even attempted what they call winging it. Nothing works. Their assistant, Binary 3, pulled up another data set. Perhaps we're trying too hard to be random. Humans don't try to be chaotic. They just are. The displays showed more examples of human innovation. A cooking show host had solved gravity manipulation while trying to create the perfect pancake flip. A musician had cracked quantum harmonics while attempting to reduce feedback in their amplifier. A group of parents had mastered spatial manipulation while trying to fit all their children's toys into a closet. There's a pattern to their chaos, Binary 3 continued. They identify problems not through scientific inquiry, but through personal inconvenience. Their solutions come not from theoretical understanding, but from what they call getting creative. Dr. Axiom 7 reviewed the data again. The humans' most significant breakthroughs seemed to come when they were mildly annoyed, not really paying attention, trying to avoid doing something else, following what they called random thoughts at 3 a.m. "Show me the coffee incident analysis," they requested. The display shifted to show a human barista who had achieved antimatter containment while trying to create a cup of coffee that would stay hot forever. When informed of their breakthrough, they had simply added it to their menu as the Eternal Warmth Blend and charged an extra $1 for it. "We've been approaching this wrong," Dr. Axiom 7 realized. "We've been trying to understand human innovation through logic, but humans don't innovate through understanding. They innovate through inconvenience and spite." The laboratory's eye assistant chimed in. "Recent analysis shows that 43% of human technological breakthroughs occurred because someone said it was impossible, and a human responded with 'Hold my beer.'" Dr. Axiom 7 began composing their report to the Galactic Council. The human paradox appears to be this: their greatest strength is their complete lack of awareness of what they cannot do. They don't break universal laws because they're trying to. They break them because no one told them not to, or because someone told them they couldn't. Their innovation process seems to be 1. Encounter problem. 2. Think of solution that should be impossible. 3. Try it anyway. 4. Succeed through what they call dumb luck. 5. Immediately begin complaining about the solution's user interface. Recommendation: do not, under any circumstances, tell humans something is impossible. Preliminary models suggest that the phrase "it can't be done" acts as a catalyst for human innovation, with an exponential increase in breakthrough probability. As they finished their report, an alert came through. Somewhere in suburban Earth, a group of parents organizing a birthday party had just discovered a way to fold space-time. They were using it to fit more kids at the table and hadn't bothered to document the process because they were too busy cutting the cake. Dr. Axiom 7's form flickered in resignation. The galaxy would never be ready for humans, but it seemed humans weren't waiting for permission to break reality anyway. First contact was supposed to be a carefully orchestrated event, following protocols refined over millennia of galactic diplomacy. Instead, it happened because a human food truck vendor accidentally achieved faster-than-light travel while trying to beat the lunch rush. Maria Rodriguez, owner of Maria's Miracle Tacos, had simply wanted to serve food in multiple locations simultaneously. Her solution involved what she called a little kitchen hack that inadvertently created a wormhole network across downtown Seattle. The Galactic Council's careful plans for first contact were rendered moot when she appeared in the middle of their chamber, carrying a catering order that technically hadn't been placed yet. "Who ordered the fish tacos with extra guac?" she asked, completely unfazed by the assembly of alien beings before her. "Also, cool costumes. Is this some kind of sci-fi convention?" High Counselor Zenith Prime's energy form fluctuated rapidly, their translation matrix struggling to process this unprecedented situation. "Human, do you realize what you've achieved?" "Oh, the instant delivery thing." Maria shrugged while arranging sauce containers. "Yeah, it's pretty neat. Really helps with the lunch crowd. Though the health department's being weird about the whole breaking the laws of physics thing. Anyone want some chips and salsa while we chat?" The chamber descended into chaos. Representatives from 1,000 worlds tried to comprehend how this human had casually solved a transportation problem that their civilizations had struggled with for generations. Several members of the science directory had to be treated for logical breakdown when Maria mentioned she'd figured it out while watching cat videos. "But the theoretical frameworks," protested the chief of technological development. "The mathematical models. The quantum calculations." "Oh, I'm terrible at math," Maria replied cheerfully. "I just thought about how pizza delivery places do that 30 minutes or free thing and figured, why not make it instant? The weird swirly space thing was kind of an accident, but it works great for keeping the food hot." Before the council could respond, More humans began appearing in the chamber. News of the cool alien meeting had spread rapidly on social media, and humans, being humans, had immediately started improvising their own transportation methods to attend. A college student arrived via what he called a homework procrastination portal. A grandmother appeared through what she termed a quilting quantum tunnel. A group of gamers showed up having modified their internet connection to transmit matter instead of just data, mostly to reduce their ping in online games. The Galactic Council's carefully maintained order crumbled as humans began treating their sacred chamber like a casual meet and greet. Someone set up a coffee stand. Another person started a live stream. A teenager asked if the alien technology could help boost their social media signal. "This is unprecedented," declared Zenith Prime, trying to maintain some semblance of protocol. "Humans, you have bypassed centuries of proper technological development. You have ignored fundamental universal constants. You have—" "Hey, speaking of universal constants," interrupted a physics graduate student who had arrived via what she called a dissertation deadline avoidance field. "I noticed your quantum containment fields are kind of inefficient. Want me to take a look? I worked as an IT intern once." Before anyone could stop her, she had already begun tweaking the ancient and sacred technology that powered the council chamber. To the horror and amazement of the assembled representatives, her modifications actually improved its performance by 400%. "Just cleared the cache and ran some updates," she explained, already moving on to optimize their translation matrix, because the UI was kind of clunky. As the council struggled to process this development, Maria had set up a successful interstellar food truck business, accepting payment in both Earth currencies and alien energy credits. Her menu now included quantum quesadillas and superluminal burritos. "We must establish proper diplomatic relations," insisted the chief of interspecies relations. "There are protocols, procedures." "Oh, I started a Discord server for that," said a teenage human who had arrived via something he called a biology homework avoidance displacement field. "We've got like 10,000 members already, mostly sharing memes and tech tips with alien civilizations. Pretty cool." The Galactic Council watched in helpless amazement as humans began casually revolutionizing technologies that had remained unchanged for millennia. Someone had already created an app for universal translation, because Google Translate didn't have xenomorphian yet. Another person was helping optimize alien spacecraft engines, while explaining she just wanted to reduce the carbon footprint of interstellar travel. As the chaos unfolded, Maria's food truck continued to serve tacos to beings from across the galaxy, breaking down interspecies barriers one burrito at a time. "You know," she said to no one in particular, "we should do this again next week. I'm thinking of adding some alien fusion dishes to the menu. Anyone know if energy beings can eat guacamole?" 6 months after the taco truck incident, as it was now known in galactic historical records, the universe had changed in ways no one could have predicted. The Galactic Council had been forced to adapt to what they termed the human factor, though humans just called it fixing stuff. The once formal council chamber now featured a coffee shop, several food trucks, and what humans called a co-working space. Beings from across the galaxy could be found there at all hours, collaborating with humans on projects that violated numerous laws of physics, but somehow worked anyway. High Counselor Zenith Prime, who had finally given up on maintaining traditional protocols, reviewed the latest reports with a mixture of resignation and awe. Personal anti-gravity devices were now being sold on what humans called Etsy, marketed as floating phone holders for lazy scrolling. A human child had solved the galaxy's millennium-old energy crisis while trying to create a super nightlight because they were afraid of the dark. The previously rigid galactic banking system had been completely revolutionized by what humans called Space Venmo. "Can someone explain?" Zenith Prime asked the chamber at large. "How humans have made more technological progress in 6 months than the rest of the galaxy made in 10,000 years. "Oh, that's easy," replied Sarah Chen, a human software developer who had become the unofficial chief of making alien stuff actually usable. Your species all try to solve problems the right way. Humans just want things to work better, and we're too impatient to do it properly. The evidence was everywhere. The ancient and sacred halls of the Galactic Archive had been completely reorganized by a human librarian who thought their classification system was kind of a mess. A group of human UI designers had revolutionized the controls of advanced alien spacecraft because the user experience was terrible. A human chef had solved the problem of faster-than-light food delivery because cold takeout is the worst. The galactic education system had been particularly transformed. Traditional 1,000-year courses on theoretical physics were now supplemented by what humans called YouTube tutorials and life hacks. A popular series called Space Physics for Dummies had somehow managed to explain quantum mechanics using cat memes. Even the most conservative alien species had to admit that things were better. Inefficient systems that had persisted for millennia were being optimized by humans who simply couldn't tolerate bad user interfaces. Ancient technological problems were being solved by humans who didn't know enough to realize they were impossible. The galaxy has entered a new age, Zenith Prime announced to the Council, which now included several humans in hoodies and flip-flops. We must accept that the human approach to innovation, while chaotic and completely illogical, is remarkably effective. Speaking of innovation, interrupted a human teenager who had been half listening while playing on their phone. I think I just figured out how to make teleportation work with Wi-Fi. The lag was bugging me. The Council had learned to just accept such announcements. Their new protocol for human breakthroughs was simply to document them and try to understand them later. Attempting to understand them in real time had proved impossible and had led to several cases of logical breakdown among the science team. As the galaxy adjusted to this new normal, a curious thing began to happen. Other species started adopting what they called human-style problem-solving. The Arcturians, known for their 1,000-year planning cycles, launched their first Hack Week. The Rigelians, who had never created anything without centuries of committee meetings, began hosting innovation jams. The results were chaotic, but undeniably productive. The galaxy was advancing faster than ever. Driven by a combination of ancient wisdom and human style, why not try it and see what happens? Perhaps, Zenith Prime reflected, watching a human explain meme culture to a group of quantum physicists. This is the balance the galaxy needed. The wisdom of the ages combined with humanity's refreshing inability to acknowledge impossibility. As if to punctuate this thought, an alert came through about a new human breakthrough. Someone had apparently solved the mystery of dark matter while trying to create a better coffee maker. They had already posted the solution on GitHub with the comment, "Lol, it works HFY." And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, a human was probably looking at some fundamental law of the universe and thinking, you know what would make this better? The galaxy would never be the same, and that was probably a good thing. After all, as humans like to say, why do things the right way when you can do them the fun way?